What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my player career mode. This is episode number 11, and we start today's episode off with a game against Doncaster Rovers here, away from home with Nottingham Forest. Of course, the club are on loan at from Fulham in the Premier League, and currently we're sitting top of the table with Forest doing quite well. Our loan spell so far has been really successful, and I've been reading a lot of comments as well from people saying if you do get Forest promoted, if you do go up with Forest from this loan spell, will you sign a permanent deal with Nottingham Forest? Well, I'm not entirely sure yet. Of course, there's a lot of things to be decided, and of course I can't really sort of guarantee that I would be able to request a transfer and go to that club, because of course it's not really how player career mode works, but you never know. So for those of you that are enjoying this mini stint with Forest, maybe it could turn into a permanent one, maybe not, but for the time being it's been quite successful. And the first chance this game here against Doncaster would fall in the 5th minute as I played the ball down the left hand side here. I try and curl it from a tight angle, and unfortunately it went just over the bar there, so Ross Turnbull didn't have to make a save, but the former Chelsea goalkeeper would not have to pick the ball out of his goal net either, because the ball did go just over the bar. It was very unlucky there. It would have been a lovely curling goal, but still 0-0. But in the 23rd minute here, I played the ball out wide towards Patterson. Patterson plays it back in field eventually to Cox. Cox collects the ball and plays it in field, and eventually the ball is played out wide towards Jamie Mackie, and Mackie puts the ball into the bottom corner to make it Doncaster 0, Forest 1. We do take the lead, and what a season Jamie Mackie's having, absolutely fantastic. But Mackie gets the goal, and it's 1-0 to Forest. The away fans celebrate as we do take the lead. But in the 49th minute here, straight after kickoff really, Cohen gets on the ball and finds Jamie Mackie, the goal scorer. It's a great chip ball through towards myself here. Me and Mackie have been brilliant this season linking up, and I go one-on-one round Ross Turnbull, keep holding the ball and then squeeze it into the bottom corner, and that was just fantastic composure there, because it was a wonderful finish. As I went one-on-one, I didn't really know what to do, because I didn't really fancy striking it with the left foot into the near post. I probably could have scored that way, but I thought I'd try and round the goalkeeper, see if I can turn back onto my preferred right foot and then squeeze into the bottom corner. There's like 3 or 4 Doncaster shirts back there trying to defend this, but they still couldn't stop me. It was a wonderful piece of composure and a really good finish, because at first when I rounded Turnbull, I thought I was taking the ball too wide and I was going to mess it up, but thankfully I didn't, and it was a really nice goal. So Doncaster 0, Forest 2 here, and I was very glad to get on the goals. And in the 54th minute I played the ball here and gave it to Cohen. Cohen strikes it but puts the ball wide, and it is still 2-0 to Forest. But to be honest, Doncaster didn't really threaten in this game at all, so it wasn't going to be a question of whether we'd win but by how many goals. And we had another good chance here in the 69th minute. I thought we should have got a penalty as Cox got taken down by Turnbull, but unfortunately not. But for Doncaster, they rarely threatened. In the 71st minute there, best attack really was this ridiculously mishit cross by Quinn, which ended up hitting the bar and going onto the roof of the net. That was basically all their chances for the whole game, but eventually they did get themselves back into the game, not fortuitously, but just because they eventually had to start attacking a bit more. And when the ball dropped to Keegan here, he gave the ball off towards Firm and he struck it. And I have to say, Darlow probably should have saved this one, to be honest. It was a pretty poor attempt, but it went to the back of the net, and Doncaster did indeed get themselves a goal back in this game. But as you can see, it counted for nothing in the end, because the game did finish Doncaster 1, Forest 2. So very pleased to get the win there. It was more than deserved. If anything else, we should have scored more goals, but I don't mind too much. We got the 3 points, and of course I got myself a goal as well, which is always nice for our accomplishments and our stats. And as you can see here, our match rating was a very respectable 7.5. So not great, but we'll take it. But after that, you see we've now entered a new month in March, so it's time to show you the brief look at the accomplishments. So this is what they look like on an overall perspective. We've got 38% complete so far, so doing okay. And here is a look at our stats for this season and our attributes so far. 25 games, 16 goals and 16 assists. Very nice indeed. Average rating of 7.9. A lot of people have also been asking me why my rating has started off so high. A lot of people have been asking me that. It's because of the bonuses you get at the start of the game if you've played this career mode before on previous gen. I think that's how it worked, or something like that, but that's how it works. Haven't used any of the catalogue boosts yet, but I might do in the future. I might ask you guys whether you'd like me to see me use them or not. But anyway, there you go. Here's a look at the table. We're 6 points clear at top of the table, doing quite well. Also, here's a look at the Premier League table as well. Fulham are sitting in 8th place. Very good indeed. Not doing as bad as they are in real life. Sitting in 8th place here with 46 points. So very decent from Fulham. I had a lot of comments and suggestions from people asking me to show the Premier League table. Again, I said this before. I play about a week in advance from the footage you guys see on YouTube. So because of that, I can't do the I can't do your suggestions questions straight away, but I do take them all on board and try and do them eventually. But let's look at the Premier League table. But of course, at the moment we're only focusing on the Championship. Fulham are going to be safe in the Premier League and then some, so we don't really need to worry about what's going on there. Our parent club, we just need to worry about what's going on here with Forest in our loan spell. And of course, we are currently sitting top of the table by 6 points ahead of Wigan, and that is the team we face for this game here at the City ground. So it is a first versus second clash here as Wigan come to town. Can we pull away from the pack, extend our lead at the top by even more points, or will Wigan start to catch up with us and we could slip? Well, this is a game that promised so much, but unfortunately it delivered so little. Not much really happened in this game. The first real chance was in the 45th minute in stoppage time, when I had a chance here from outside the area, struck it with the finesse, but unfortunately it went over the bar harmlessly and out for a goal kick. And in the second half, you see Jordi Gomez get on the ball here, and eventually the ball was played forward towards Nicky Maynard, but the shot went harmlessly wide of Dominguez's post, and it was still 0-0, and the game was just so poor. There were very few chances, which is such a shame, because I was hoping for a very action-packed, fantastic top-of-the-table clash. Instead, nothing was really happening. In the 62nd minute, that free kick was well saved by the goalkeeper, and from the corner it's crossed in by Vaughan, and the header was just wide the post there by Jabor, I think it was, and it was still 0-0. Nothing was really happening, but in the 79th minute here, we get on the ball down the right hand side. Eventually I make a run towards the far post here, and as the cross comes in, I managed to get my left foot on it and score the first goal of the game. Score what was probably going to be the only goal of the game as well, with a very decent volley there. It's also the first volley I've scored in my career, so as you can see there in the top right of the screen, I did get an accomplishment for it. Very nice volley into the bottom corner in a game where nothing really happened. We just required one moment of luck or magic, and you see that I wasn't even looking at the goal when I struck it there with the left foot. I was looking away from the goal, didn't even check to see the ball cross the line. I knew it went in, so yeah, we get the goal there. I was very pleased to score it, and in a game with so few chances, I was so thankful that the one goal that looked like would separate the teams would be ours, and it was scored by myself with just over 10 minutes to go. So Forest 1, Wigan 0, but straight from kickoff they tried to get themselves back on their terms. Maloney chips the ball over the top, a calamitous piece of defending there, saw Nicky Maynard go through 1-on-1. Thankfully Dominguez made the save, and then Espinosa, I think it might have been, took the strike, but he put his shot wide of the post, and it was still Forest 1, Wigan 0. And the 90th minute here, the last chance would fall to Wigan as James Perch crosses the ball in towards the far post, but the header goes wide of Dominguez's post, and the game does finish 1-0. So we do get the win by a goal to nil. The game, like I said, it promised so much, it delivered so little, but thankfully my goal separates the two sides, and we do indeed collect the 3 points. We extend our lead at the top, and as things stand, we are, touch wood, going to be going up as champions, or certainly going up at least, because we've just been in such a great run of form really, and things look fantastic. We got ourselves a 6.6 rating, not very good, but I don't really care. The win was the most important thing there, so another win, and the volley which I scored separated the two sides there in the top of the table clash. The following game was going to be against Watford here at the City ground, so as we take on Watford, looking to keep this run going. We haven't lost for quite a few games now, so we want to keep this run going. We don't want to slip up. We want to keep on getting the wins. But in this game, the side was rested. A lot of the first team was rested for this game, and the reason behind that was because on the weekend we would have an FA Cup clash against Liverpool in the quarterfinals at the City ground. So with that in mind, the manager decided to rest quite a few of the first team players. However, he said to me, "You're in a good run of goal scoring form. You're not getting dropped for this game. I need you starting." So with that in mind, I continue to stay and start in this game. Although to be honest, I wouldn't have mind missing this game. I wouldn't have mind being dropped for this game, because really I want to play in the FA Cup final. I don't want to be too unfit to play in, the FA Cup final, if only the FA Cup quarterfinal, because I don't want to be too unfit to play in that game. But anyway, in this game against Watford, the first chance would fall literally straight from kickoff as they play the ball forward towards Albert Riera here. He finds Abdi, places the ball forward. It's a calamitous piece of defending, and Forestieri goes forward, drills the ball into the bottom corner, and makes it Forest 0, Watford 1. So the away side take a shock lead pretty much straight from kickoff, and it is the visitors who take the early lead in this game. So Forest 0, Watford 1. In the 5th minute, a good chance for us to equalise those pretty much straight after they scored. Jamie Mackie goes down the right hand side here. I'm looking for the ball in the centre, but eventually I'm waiting for the cross. It doesn't seem to be coming in, but eventually it does. Goes over my head, but at the far post, the header by Patterson is saved by Kristen. I think is that named the goalkeeper, Kristen, something like that. And it's still Forest 0, Watford 1. But in the 11th minute here, Jamie Mackie gives the ball to me down the right hand side here. I take on Angela, beat him with a very lucky piece of skill, if nothing else. We cross the ball in, the volley is blocked, then it falls to Gonzalo Hara, but unfortunately his shot is saved, and it's still 1-0 to Watford. But that was it for chances really until the 45th minute, when the next chance would fall here as Cohen gets on the ball for us, plays it infield towards Gonzalo Hara. I'm sort of drifting in and out, but eventually I play a nice little ball over the top here with a 1-2 towards Patterson, but unfortunately the goalkeeper makes another good save, and it's still Forest 0, Watford 1. So we couldn't seem to find our first goal again. We couldn't seem to get the equalising goal, despite the fact we were dominating possession, we were dominating shots. We just couldn't seem to score against the 5-man at the back Watford side. But in the 45th minute here, directly from kickoff, we roulette past one, we then fake shot past another, then get the ball back onto our right foot and roll it out wide towards Cohen here. Cohen places the ball further out wide towards Patterson. Patterson collects the ball, plays it back towards Cohen. Cohen gets on the ball, then back to Patterson, then Patterson delivers across towards myself. I win the header, but unfortunately the goalkeeper makes another good save. Kirsten makes another good save, and it's still Forest 0, Watford 1. So despite all the chances and the possession, we just couldn't score. Another header from this corner went straight to the goalkeeper, and as you can see, I'm just standing there on the edge of the area thinking, how on earth are we going to break down and score this goal, because he just can't seem to break down Watford's defence. But in the 68th minute, Patterson gets on the ball and plays it to me down the left hand side. I swing it across, but the header by Jabor hits the post, and it loops up over the deflected clearance, hits him on the body and goes out for a goal kick, and we just couldn't score the goal to make it 1-1. And in the 78th minute, Watford almost hit us here on the counter. We were throwing men forward, but as eventually the cross is played in towards the centre, it's not dealt with, but the volley is fantastically saved by Caldalo to keep the score at 1-0. But that was how the game finished. Watford would collect all 3 points, so not good motivation ahead of our FA Cup quarter-final clash with Liverpool on the weekend. Very, very disappointing loss there. We tried everything, we threw everything but the kitchen sink at Watford. We just couldn't find a goal though, and Watford do take the shock win in this game. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please do like, and I'll see you for the next episode of My Player Career Mode very soon.